With multiple locations all over the place, it is not surprising to me that iFly has a location within an hour from my house. However, that hour is up past Chicago, and it's not a direction we normally go. So my question today is, if you have to drive an hour to get to an iFly location, is it worth it? Would you recommend it? And is it worth the value? Well, those are the things we're going to discuss today. I hope you enjoy. Are you excited?
Yeah.
The first thing you're going to want to do when you walk in is stop at the check-in desk. There's all kinds of information and you do have to get weighed. There's a weight limit of about 260 pounds to be able to fly. I think they said they can handle up to 300, but don't quote me. They offer things like homeschool field trips, birthday parties, and regular flights, so your experience is going to be a little bit different than what we did, but we started with STEM lessons.
They come together, guess how fast we can get the wind up to. Yeah.
Okay, so we just did our pre-flight training, got all our hand signals, and now we are getting our helmets. We're getting ready to fly. After some training, it is time to go get fully geared up. You're gonna have earplugs, you're gonna have a cloth to go over your ponytails and your hair, and then it's helmets, goggles, and you're into the tunnel. It is impossible to hear when you are in the wind tunnel, so the symbol we were just doing was their way of telling us to breathe, to just relax, and I thought it would be cute for this picture. This is a look of the mesh. Now, every square inch of that mesh can hold about 2,000 pounds. And then they even showed us the way that the air comes up and then reverberates down and how many fans they have making this happen. We got 2 flights. The first flight was just to get you adjusted to the feeling and to make sure that you understood how your body should be held. I think that I have pretty good body control, so this was really not stressful for me. It was just a lot of fun. You're basically going to get into like a Superman stretch, and your arms are going to be like in the TSA formation. It's very, very simple. You just need to breathe through it. But your first flight, the goal is for them to not have to touch you, for you to have enough stability in the wind that you could just kind of hang there. A lot of the kids had issues at first, and then they would calm down and be okay. So it was very, very interesting to watch all of the different reactions that people had. I personally thought it was so much fun. There are actually about 3 people involved in your flight. You, who is flying, your instructor making sure that you're staying safe, and then there's another instructor outside of the tunnel, but in the general holding area that is using high-tech computer system to operate like how much wind you get, to make sure that you're not getting too close to the walls. It was very, very intricate and very cool to see from the inside. The air is blowing over 100 miles per hour. Now that speed is going to vary depending on your weight and what exactly it is you're doing. But for the kids, it looked like it was usually right around like 105. And I think when I was in, it was closer to 115. Your second flight sounds like it would be a little bit more work, but surprisingly it's not. It's actually easier. You've already gotten a taste of what the wind tunnel is supposed to be like, and what you're seeing here is the instructor is not going to let you just hop on in. They want to make sure that you are in the right form when you enter the wind tunnel. So they will work with you until you get it right, and then you will safely proceed in. Like I said too, it is extremely loud. All you hear is wind. So there is no verbal communication. It's really relying on visual cues, and the instructor that is operating the computer will also be giving you visual cues if for some reason you're not seeing what the one in the tunnel with you is trying to say. This is what they call the high fly. So once your body position is nice and stable, they hook up to you and you just kind of do this spin up and down. I want to say your first flight you get about a minute, and then the second flight is about 30 seconds of just getting used to it and actually performing the flight. So it is our lunch break. I was going to run over to Subway real quick, but some of our friends are in the tunnel and I don't want to miss them flying. So I'm I'm just gonna run to the car and get a couple snacks. But holy cow, I just had so much fun. Like, I probably should have kept my mouth shut while I was flying, but I couldn't help it. I was just like, the entire time. A couple of my friends took video, and I think they provide us with a video too. So I will link those, or put those, I will insert those. I'm so jazzed, I can't even talk. And yes, there is a Subway within walking distance. And yes, they will email you a link that has your videos in it, because they do record while you are in the tunnel. However, because ours was through a field trip, those videos, those links all went to the organizer, and it is like a week, 2 weeks before Christmas. She has not had a second to send those links out to all of us, and I totally understand, but I do not have the actual footage for you guys from them. This is footage that my friends took. So if you do go for a field trip and you're not placed in the same flight group as your friends, that might actually work out to your favor, because otherwise I wouldn't have any of this. There's nothing on your person. You do need to take off all of your jewelry. Nothing. You can't even have a watch on you in there. Now, if you are watching this and you are somebody with type 1 diabetes, some sort of like CGM or pump, my daughter is type 1. She does wear a CGM. She's on the Dexcom 7. We do not have a pump, but I will also tell you that her CGM was absolutely fine. She had no blood sugar spikes or dips, no issues at all. And for the end of our field trip, this flight instructor got in with this canister of water, and they had the wind blowing enough that it looked like it was raining, and then even kind of like anti-gravity, like you could just see it hanging out. It was a really cool demonstration, and then I'm gonna shut up for a second so you can just watch him do his thing, because oh my gosh, it was so fun to watch.
Imagine you were skydiving on a rainy day and you were falling at 23 miles an hour right next to the rain. It would look like that if the rain was stationary with you as you fell with it. It would look like
So was it worth it? 100% yes. Would I recommend going again? 100% yes. Was it worth the value? That's kind of a toughie because money is tight for everybody. We paid about $55 per person for this field trip, and yes, again, I would say in this instance, it was absolutely worth it. If you are like me and you are visiting from about an hour away, also play into account that you're gonna pay tolls. They do have a small parking lot and on-street parking, but any extra parking fees you may associate or lunch fees, you can bring food. That's not a problem either, but just wrap those things up into your planning. But yes, 100 times yes, I would say if you have the opportunity to visit an iFly, do it.